Hi everyone, it's Jerry David here with a PPOC lesson on how to properly size your images for horizontal image competition or accreditation right out of Lightroom. This does not include a mat, but for some newer observer members who may be new to this, I thought it would be a good lesson to just sort of get this done. I'm doing a voiceover after I've actually recorded the video, so yeah, I've got to try to follow what I did on the screen. So first thing I'm going to do is pick a picture. It took me a second to find one, but I did grab one, and I'm going to open this up. So I'm just working in Lightroom here. So now with this picture chosen, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the develop module. There will be no developing happening here. I won't do anything to this picture. I work in DNG, so it's just a raw image in DNG. I am going to click the crop button right there, and that's where the magic happens. So the key is this little window pops up, and you have to unlock the crop and choose an aspect ratio of 16:9. So 5120 by 2880 is a 16:9 aspect ratio. Once you do this, it'll auto crop your image for you, and then you can sort of move things around and crop it yourself. So I don't like the grass on the right. I want to put the duck maybe on or the drake on a third. So I'm gonna fix this up a bit and move things around and make it look good, as good as it can get considering the image. It's an okay image. I probably wouldn't put it in for salon though. So once I get that crop done, I'm going to hit the enter key and sort of commit the crop. So you can see the 16:9 is still there, and now it's just going to do the crop for us. All right, image cropped, 16:9. If you look at the size, it says 7023 by 3950. Yes, it's not 5120 by 2880 yet. An image like this, because it doesn't have a mat, I have to put a quick vignette on it. So I'm going to do that quickly because it's driving me a bit batty. All right, now that I've got the image properly, I'm going to export it and save it in a proper format for image competition, horizontal or accreditation. File, export, and then this comes up. Now you can actually save this as a preset, so that as you go and do this, all you have to do is click on your preset and change a few things rather than have to fill everything in. I'm going to go to the same folder that it was originally from and call it accreditation sizing or something. But I have a folder that I actually keep on my, in an area that I save these particular, a salon-worthy image. I'll save it to a salon folder, and it'll always go there, so that's in my preset. I always put in the custom name with a proper name now, so I'm going to name it for competition my member number -2, because this is the second video I've done, and this is my second image, _, and I'll just come up with a name, resting Drake. Okay, once that's done, I go to my file settings. It's we want things in JPEG format, and you have to choose your color space. Highly recommend Adobe RGB and ProPhoto RGB. You won't get kicked out for saving it in sRGB, but we have screens that we're judging these on in a wide color gamut. I don't think you're taking full advantage of the screen capabilities if you use sRGB. I don't recommend it, but you will not get kicked out for it. Here's where it gets a little bit different. I usually, because things should only be sent usually in about a 6 megabyte size limitation due to our upload limitations, I fill in limit file size here. What that does is it goes through an algorithm and chooses the JPEG compression quality through an algorithm rather than you choosing a quality. A lot of times in a really color dense picture, you have to go down to 60%, but in a non-color dense picture, you may go down to 60% or a JPEG 8 unnecessarily. So that's why I rather limit the file size. Image sizing, long edge 5120. We've already set our aspect ratio on this image. We don't have to worry about the short edge. The resolution doesn't matter. It can be anything. It's a print. It's a print instruction, so it won't mean anything when it shows up on the screen. And I do sharpen for screen, amount standard, and copyright and contact info only. You want to have as little metadata in here as possible. And once that's all done, in this particular case, I'm going to actually add this as a preset. I'm going to call it I'm going to call it, what am I going to call it here? Sorry, I'm waiting for my screen to change. It'll save all those things. And you can actually do this and save it as A965-X_name. When you do this, save as a preset, and that way every time you come, it'll remind you how to name things properly. It's a good way to get your naming done. Okay, new preset name, PPOC 5120. Sizing, save it to Jerry's presets, create, and then you'll see it pops up there. So now whenever I need to resize something in Lightroom, this is the preset that I use. All right, I hit the export. It went to the folder, so now I'm going to do a quick look for it. I'm just going to do a search on my Finder. I don't quite remember the original folder that this went to, so I spent about 10 seconds looking for it here, but instead I went to my Finder and looked for it. Just give this a second. I thought it was in here, but it wasn't. All right, I got smart. Go to my Finder, search for Drake, brings up a little bit of music and a picture. So what I do now, I always do the final check, is I open it up in Preview. I'm on a Mac. You can open it up in, what do they call that, Windows Media Preview or something on a PC. And once I open it in Preview, look at a full screen, I hit Command-I. What that does is it brings up this general info thing, and you can now check all your data. Yeah, the name is right, it's a JPEG image. It is 5120 by 2880. It's 300 pixels per inch. Again, doesn't matter. Color mode RGB, and it's Adobe RGB. So now I have an image that's ready to go into accreditation. I think mats are nice and they add to an image generally. Some images don't need them, but if you're just working in Lightroom and you need to do this, this is perfectly acceptable way to get your images into accreditation. Jerry David with the PPOC. Thanks everybody.